Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella and today we're going to be doing a very special video about soulmates and also asteroid Juno. So as a lot of you guys know, our astrology chart, there's many different ways how we can see our soulmates, how we can see the kind of partner we're going to attract to date, what kind of partner we're going to marry. This video is not really about necessarily even the marriage partner. So this video is not necessarily focused on Jupiter, 7th house, or any other placements that indicate marriage partner in your chart, or even Venus. This is specifically about asteroid Juno, and I find that this asteroid actually is really interesting. And just by analyzing this placement in your chart, you can learn a lot about what kind of man, especially as a woman, you're attracted to, what kind of partners you're attracted to, even as a man. Very often I see Juno in charts of men and they are attracted to the kind of woman that Juno represents. I would still say Venus is more important, but Juno is quite important as well, and this video is about that. Juno has to do a lot with commitment, it has to do with marriage, it's obviously not Vedic, it's Western astrology, so it comes from Roman mythology. Juno was a Roman goddess who was protecting the states, she was watching over women, she was the wife of a Jupiter. So it's a very interesting and it's very important placement as an asteroid. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a little tutorial in this video as well. How can you find where Juno is in your chart? It's very easy, you don't even need to know time of birth for that, just knowing your date of birth, and also if you're interested in what kind of, let's say, partner maybe, or let's say what kind of archetype your significant other or somebody you're interested in is attracted to, you can also check for them as well. It's actually quite interesting. So anyway, Juno represents very often what kind of soulmate we feel drawn to, and also it represents which area of your life we really want to commit to. So whether it's about career, whether it's about, I don't know, spirituality, there's usually an area where we have Juno in our chart where we feel extremely drawn to making some kind of, not necessarily difference, but we really want to stand out with this energy. We really want to empower ourselves in that part of our chart. I find it very interesting, and again, I've been analyzing this in my own chart, in charts of clients, in charts of my friends for a very long time, and I find the results quite interesting. And again, I still think that when it comes to marriage partners, when it comes to soulmates, Venus, Jupiter are the most important, first and foremost. Also your 7th house cusp for your first marriage, first serious relationship, then your 9th house cusp for your second marriage, and 11th house cusp for the third marriage, for those of you who are marrying third time. But Juno just gives a little bit of that information about what kind of partners, what kind of soulmate we have, who we are attracted to. So anyway, let's get started, and there's going to be a timestamp, so you can jump right after you find out where your Juno is. You can go straight to that timestamp to see about that placement, and I'm going to give you instructions on how to find Juno in your chart in a moment. We're gonna start with Leo because this is the placement in my chart. My Juno in my natal chart is in the sign of Leo in the 10th house. Little do I need to say, there's been a lot of different Leos throughout my life that I've been attracted to, but this doesn't mean that if, let's say, if your Juno is in Leo or any other sign, that you're going to be attracted to that sign. Sure, you're going to be drawn to that sign, but I think what it has to do more than the actual sign of who you're attracted to is the energy of a person, the overall energy of a person. So if you have Juno in Leo, like me, for example, you're going to be attracted as a woman or even as a man, you're going to be attracted to people who have a lot of charisma. You're going to be attracted to people who even maybe have some kind of power or some kind of fame or some kind of, they don't have to be a superstar, but maybe they're just, we all know these people, they just stand out in the crowd, they're like the talk of the town, or they're the most popular, guy or girl in class, or even at your workplace, or even if, let's say, they are like working in a coffee shop, they're just that barista or whatever who is just like, they are looking different, there's something bright about them. So when you have Juno in Leo, you're going to be very attracted to people who have unique sense of fashion, style, people who stand out, people who are a little bit bossy, people who are a little bit, I don't say aggressive, but there can be a bit of an ego with this person. They could have some kind of, again, I'm not saying that all of them are going to be like famous, but they could have some degree of, just people are drawn to them, people like to watch them, they're a center of attention. So some of them would obviously like seek out to be a center of attention very actively, but for others it just naturally happens that way because, there is something special about them. So you're attracted to this type. And it's very true because I do have this placement and I have a few friends who have this placement. It's crazy, like sometimes, you know, I would see a guy and it would be crazy, like the first person I'm attracted to is the one who, I don't know, 10 more girls are attracted to, like the one who is just, you know, a little bit selfish, a bit of macho, and something irresistible about them. I try to work through this because sometimes I did actually attract people who were extremely selfish and with a very big ego in my life. But I do also have Sun in the 7th house, so it's just as my luck. I'm meant to be attracting sometimes a bit of a bossy, domineering people. So it's important not give your power away. But yeah, I think when you have Juno in Leo, you're gonna have somebody fun. Like the good side about this placement is that most likely your soulmate is gonna be a person who is a lot of fun to be around, a little bit childish perhaps, maybe a bit bossy, sometimes throw temper tantrums, could have a very strong creative side as well. They can actually be in the entertainment industry. I have Juno in Leo. I've dated some people in entertainment industry. I've been attracted to people who are artists, musicians. It's not even that like I'm, how to explain this, I don't know. It's not even that I'm like actively seeking it out. I try to always be open to a good person and the person who treats me well, but there is just something that I cannot resist when I see a man who is just, there is something about them, like, you know, people are doing this to them, like, and applauding. It's like I can't. It's like a kryptonite for me. I forget all, even my spirituality. I forget all the things that I know and follow. And I just go crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I don't know if it's a good example, but for whatever reason that comes up to me. If you guys ever seen Girls on HBO this season, how there was this Marnie and you know, she was always like kind of uptight and whatever, but then she met that musician guy and he was like a kryptonite for her. She went crazy over him. So like it's maybe a bit of that placement. So you can definitely be very attracted to creative types. What else do I want to add was Juno in Leo? I think also because it's not only our soulmate, but it also shows something like where we get offended or where we take great pride of also of ourselves, where we want to, you know, be treated fairly. I think for people with Juno and Leo, you get offended where people, you know, let's say don't acknowledge you as generous or don't acknowledge you as worthy. Like you really want people to see your worth, and I think you really want people to kind of like see the dignity in you and to appreciate you, like appreciate you in a way where like, oh wow, you are so good at the things that you do. And it's true, like I resonate with this as well. Like I'm always saying, like, you don't have to love me, but you owe me basic respect. And you know, I like in general when people just respect each other, because I think it's common sense, common dignity. But yeah, I think with Juno and Leo, you're definitely gonna attract somebody into your life, and you might fall for people who are very like they like to show off. You might attract the type of partner who likes to show off, who likes to just be a bit cocky, who likes to like, look at me, look how good I am. And I dated guys who would be literally like, oh, was I good at this? Wasn't I? Am I amazing? Oh, how do I look? Like literally, some of them were Leos, but this is the things they would actually tell me, and I'd be like, oh my god, now this is the dark side of this Juno and Leo placement. So anyway, I don't know, I think I have anything else to add. Let me know guys in the comments below if your Juno is in Leo, if this resonates or not, because definitely yes, for me, so many people that I've been attracted to, they just had this bit of a star boy, I don't know, quality or something like that. Now one thing I do want to say about Juno and Leo, sometimes if there is of course other aspects in your chart that confirm this, you might attract a partner and a soulmate who could be in some way a little bit of a higher status than you are. So let's say, I don't know, you just work in a regular job, but this person maybe is like CEO or something like that, or maybe this person is more popular than you in some way, or maybe this person is just of a little bit of a different status. Again, there needs to be other aspects on your chart, of course, to confirm that. Just based on Juno, it's hard to say that is that. But for example, in my chart, I have Juno in Leo, but I also have Sun in the 7th house, there is a lot of different aspects that suggest actually when I end up marrying someone, most likely they're gonna be like much better than me in terms of status in life, at least. So we'll see what's gonna happen. But at the same time, still, it's kind of like it comes with a good and with a bad. The good is that yes, they can help you maybe even elevate yourself in life, but the bad part is sometimes they don't even see their mistakes, and they can be a bit childish and bossy and a little bit like, I don't want to say full of ego because it sounds so basic, but I feel like they can just be a little bit selfish and a little bit, you know, self-centered. But of course, this is something they can also transform. So your zodiac or your, you know, astrological placements in no way are an excuse to be treating people badly or something like that. We always need to take the good from our astrological placements and try to improve and transform the more negative sides of us. This is how real astrology works. Anyway, let's go to the next sign. Now, if your Juno is in Virgo, your soulmate can be having Virgo qualities, so they can be a hard worker, they can be somebody who is extremely health conscious, into eating organic, some kind of special diets, exercising, doing yoga, somebody who favors routine, all of the things that kind of come with, you know, traditional Virgo qualities. So I think that there is going to be something very pure about a person that you're gonna either attract or, you know, fall in love with. And it's interesting because when people have Juno in Virgo, sometimes you tend to even attract people who could be a coach or some kind of like, they will try to motivate you in some way. So you're gonna start dating someone and they're gonna try to push you to be better, whether to eat better or exercise better or clean up your room, I don't know, or maybe upgrade your resume and something like that. So I think you yourself could sometimes feel a little bit judged or heavily criticized by your partner or by the soulmate you're gonna attract if you have Juno in Virgo. But I really think that most of the time, unless you have other aspects, of course, in your chart, Juno in Virgo is someone who has very high standards for themselves. That's why they also have high standards for others, and I think that's true with most Virgo placements. As you guys know, most Virgos are the people who are very hard on themselves, but they also judgmental of others. So the bad news here is kind of like your soulmate could be a little bit critical, maybe of you or of others, but I feel like at the same time, they're also going to be somebody who will try to work very hard on improving themselves, and this is not your type of person who is going to be eating hamburgers, or like being unhealthy, doing unhealthy substances. Most likely this is a person who's gonna really value healthy lifestyle, working out, hiking, yoga, all this kind of thing. So if you have Juno in Virgo, in a way you're in for a treat, because if you want to be healthier, if you want to improve your life, this type of soulmate probably is gonna assist you on this journey to improve yourself in this way. Now, if you have your Juno in the sign of Libra, so in a way you're very lucky, because if you have Juno in Libra, most likely this is gonna be a person who is gonna be very beautiful, and this is not just about physical appearance, even though it can very much be. They can be very physically beautiful, physically, you know, charming, and at the same time I think this is a person who really values beauty. Your soulmate is going to be a person who could be an artist. Your soulmate could be a person who, if they're not an artist, they can really value art. They can really value, you know, just even about like dressing up or creating a home or anything they do, they're gonna try to bring art into it. So your soulmate is gonna be someone who is gonna inspire you to see the beauty in the world and to see the beauty in everything. So in a way, again, Juno in Libra is one of the very good placements for that. So people with this placement are kind of lucky. At the same time, people who have Juno in Libra, and I know this from having seen charts of a lot of people who have Juno in Libra, one thing that really stands out to me is that they really value relationships that are, I don't want to say 50-50, but very balanced. So this is the kind of, let's say, there is people, right, who like to dominate their partner, or let's say there is even men and women who like to maybe even marry or date up, or like somebody who is more successful than them or something like that. A person who has Juno in Libra will really appreciate a balanced relationship where you guys are equals. There is nobody higher, nobody lower. So there is going to be some kind of catching up that you're gonna want to do, like to make sure that your relationship is built like on, I don't want to say equality, but it's like you both basically contributing, not just one person kind of like works, another person doesn't do anything, or one person overinvests into a relationship and another person is kind of like whatever. Juno in Libra is someone who actually at the very core of their being wants to be in a partnership, like in a real partnership, wants to be real partners with their significant other. And again, I think you guys are so lucky because when you're gonna meet your soulmate, they're gonna bring so much beauty and appreciation for art into your life. So even if you didn't care about these things, they're gonna really somehow open your eyes to how to make your life more beautiful. So in a way, again, great placement. Now, if your Juno is in the sign of Scorpio, this is such a fun placement. It's not the easiest, but with Juno and Scorpio, you're gonna be attracted to a person who is mysterious, who is intense, who is charming, who is a little bit secretive. You yourself can be having all of these qualities, and you yourself can be very suspicious and very jealous. You could, like, when you meet your significant other, you could be wondering, are they doing this to manipulate me? Do they have good intentions towards me? All of these things. And I think you could attract also a person who is capable of really, really deep feelings, but at the same time, it's a person who you will need to invest some time to really get to know. Your soulmate is going to be really passionate and really sexual even as well. Your soulmate is going to be somebody very intense. It's almost like you think there is no more place to go in terms of intensity, but they're going to push you to the limit, literally. They're going to push you to the limit. They're going to really, like, just when you thought that you've seen it all, if your Juno is in the sign of Scorpio, your soulmate is going to show you there's a whole other world out there. I think there is going to be almost like obsessive quality, to be honest, to your soulmate. So of course it depends on other aspects of your chart, how this kind of relationship is actually gonna go, what kind of partner you're actually gonna marry, but most likely the person who is your soulmate is gonna be very, very, very deep, very mysterious, very passionate, very obsessive, to be honest, as well. So, you know, in a way you're in for a treat, but you cannot really lie to them, because if you lie to them, I think, you know, it can be very dangerous. You're playing with fire. But at the same time, I think if you are looking to experience this very deep, this very transformative type of love, you're gonna experience that. So you're very, very lucky. It's gonna be intense, it's gonna be crazy, but I feel like it's gonna be worth it. Now, if your Juno is in Sagittarius, this one is another fun one, because I know a lot of people have Juno in Sagittarius, and one thing that I've noticed, they are always attracted to foreigners. Always. Of course, again, your other chart, other aspects in your chart have to confirm that, but I've noticed that many people, Juno and Sagittarius, they are often attracted to foreigners. They're attracted to people who are just in general traveling a lot, who are very adventurous. They are also attracted very often to people who have a different religion, in even ethnicity, race than they are. There is just something here about wanting to, you know, first of all, explore this type of people and explore just something different from where you are, almost like to go on a journey with the type of connection you go into. Very, very often, like I think I've seen it in the charts of more than even 10 people. People who had Juno in Sagittarius, they dated somebody, not just like from your, okay, we live in the US, Mexico, right? Close to us. You're from a US and you're attracted to somebody from, I don't know, like Japan, China, Australia, different part of the world, so different culture very often. And I think that the kind of soulmate you're gonna have, or you yourself could also have these qualities, you will want somebody who can be spontaneous, who can just kind of, okay, tomorrow we are going on an adventure, let's pack our bags, you know, let's go. There can be surprises with this type of person. Sometimes, you know, very rarely you might attract a little bit of F-boys, or I don't know, you cannot really say F-girls, but whatever. I think your soulmate will really like travel, will really enjoy traveling as well. You will want to travel also with your soulmate a lot. You know, these couples, right? Instagram, YouTube, who, you know, they're traveling the world together, even if it's not on that level, but you know, still there's going to be that desire to just go and explore and see the world together. And I think with your soulmate, actually, it's going to be possible. Of course, again, there needs to be a confirmation also from your 7th house cusp. So look what's happening in your 7th house cusp, look what's happening with your Venus, look what's happening in your Jupiter, to just understand a little bit more what kind of partner you're actually going to end up with. But yeah, you're going to be attracted to foreigners, you're going to travel a lot, and I feel like for you, even being with your soulmate is going to be one of the greatest adventures of your life. So, you know, this is really fun placement. Okay, so if your Juno is in Capricorn, so I don't have Juno in Capricorn, I have Juno in the 10th house, which is very similar, so you can watch either way. So with Juno in Capricorn, you can at times be attracted to, first of all, people who are a little bit older than you. If it's not about age, it could be just about in terms of life experience or in terms of where they are in life. You can be, you know, with somebody same age or even younger, but let's say if they, you know, achieved more than you are, or maybe just are more experienced or more mature than you are, it's almost like as if they are older than you, even if they are not. With Juno and Capricorn, you might often attract also somebody you work with. You might be attracted to somebody you work with, somebody not necessarily on the same level in your job, but somebody who is like, say, a boss, or somehow they could be higher, in a higher status than you are. For some people who have Juno in the sign of Capricorn, you tend to also attract your soulmates but after your first Saturn return. So after 28 to 30 years of age, where our first Saturn return happens. So for a lot of you, you meet your soulmate when you're a little bit older, so it's not necessarily going to happen in your like early 20s or like late teens or something like that. For most people, like it's after late 20s, like in your 30s maybe. Your soulmate is going to be somebody who is very, very knowledgeable about things, and somehow they could be affecting your career. So they could either help you with a career, and again, if there's negative aspects, they might sabotage your career, but somehow your career and your soulmate also is going to be very connected. I see that for a lot of you guys, there's going to be a bit of a strictness when it comes to this person. Maybe this person also going to be at times really strict with you. It's not necessarily in a bad way. Maybe they just will want to coach you or help you improve. But again, it will also depend on other aspects in your chart. I think what we need to get here is that with Juno in Capricorn, you are attracted to people who are a bit, maybe, I don't want to say bossy, but a little bit maybe like a traditional executive type, like you're, I don't know, you're like banker guy or some kind of CEO guy or something like that. Less of, you know, free spirit, hippie artist or something like that. Not to say anything wrong with it, but you want some partner, like, and you're attracted to a person who I think is very stable, who has their SHIT together, who really has this very good foundation in their life, who is the boss even in some way. So that could be something like very attractive, very aphrodisiac like to you. Now if your Juno is in the sign of Aquarius, it's a really fun one because you're going to be attracted to people who are very eccentric, very unique, very unusual, very you know, Aquarian like. I think you could even attract somebody who is a little bit of a rebel. You could attract somebody who likes to even go on demonstrations, who likes to maybe even go on protests. And actually, believe it or not, one time, so I have a friend who met, you know, a guy she's dating with. Now she has Juno in Aquarius. She met him on some kind of, I don't think a protest, but some kind of, there was some kind of political demonstration or something like that. She went there and they met there. So she has Juno in Aquarius. So this is the kind of person you might be attracted to. Somebody who speaks up, somebody who just, you know, who goes and talks about their vision of the world, somebody who is maybe very much connected even to New Age community, Age of Aquarius, all that kind of stuff. Like you will not have the kind of soulmate who is just there, just fine with doing 9 to 5 and then having a beer at the bar and that's it. Nothing wrong with that. Again, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying with people who have Juno in Aquarius, you're gonna want a partner who is just different, who's gonna show you a whole new world. So let's say if you're like Belle and you're fed up also in your little town where nothing exciting ever happens, you want that soulmate who, even if they have like a beast qualities, at least it's something different. At least, wow, there's a different, you know, some kind of adventure taking place. It's in a way different than Juno in Sag, which goes on actual adventure like by traveling. Juno in Aquarius just wants to experience, I think, something different. And I think there's gonna be certain qualities about your soulmate that's gonna help you break free from the current environment you have or something that bores you, and to see the world in a different way. I also think people who have Juno in Aquarius sometimes tend to be very interested in polyamory, polyamorous relationships, and just be a little bit more free-spirited in general. So nothing wrong with whether you're interested in one person or if you're polyamorous, but I've noticed in some of the charts who have major Aquarius placements, unless of course there's other contradictions in the chart, and people have Juno in Aquarius, there tends to be at least curiosity about what polyamory is. How can we just have that kind of free love type of experience? It does happen. I've seen this. For some people, you might even want to save the world together, bring the age of Aquarius, bring spirituality to the masses. You could have that as well. I've seen this in the charts also of some people who just really believe, you know, in creating these different circles, communities, men's circle, women's circle, and like something about friendships and community being somehow present in your relationship or how you meet. Your soulmate could be a part of that as well. Now, if you have Juno in Pisces, so you could be attracted to this very dreamy, typical Pisces archetype type of person, because again, don't forget, with Juno, it doesn't have to be an actual sign that you're gonna end up with or gonna fall in love with. It's more of an archetype. So when you think about Pisces, even if this person is not Pisces, but what are the traditional, right, kind of like things that we think of when we think of Pisces? Dreamy, spiritual, very emotional, deep, sensitive. So all of these things come up. So your soulmate could exhibit all of these qualities. So your soulmate could be somebody who has very rich imagination. They maybe feel like they don't belong in this world. They're too sensitive for this world. They could have great imagination. You two might want to escape from the world together, like you meet each other and you have this divine higher love and you just want to, you know, go away from, you know, the traditional environment, escape the traditional environment and just be together, you know, forever in your, I don't know, special place, special castle, and write songs for each other and just somehow escaping reality. It can be, so be careful to not go into, you know, the negative ways of escaping reality, because unfortunately with Pisces it does happen. You know, you can escape reality in a healthy way, dreamy imagination, you know. I don't know if you can escape, to be honest, reality in a healthy way. More like, you know, if you go into like spiritual or if you go into creativity, but you always come back, right? So be careful with Juno in Pisces to, first of all, not attract someone who, let's say, maybe exhibits more of a shadow side of Pisces, such as, I don't know, escapism, drugs, or self-pity, or different things like that. Because you yourself might also end up with someone who you feel like you gotta save them, and you can sabotage yourself that way. Or you could also attract a person who might want to save you in some way. So that is like the shadow side. But I feel like overall, you know, again, all of these things, more specific things, we need to see a complete chart for it. But I think overall, when you have Juno in Pisces, there is something very dreamy about the kind of soulmate you're going to attract and the kind of love you're going to experience. So emotional depth here is a key word, an ability to, I don't know, just not be so shallow, you know, like the Lady Gaga song, Shallow. So you're not gonna want someone shallow. You might be fed up with people who are so shallow, and you just want somebody who is just deep. You know, there is this quote by Anais Nin, I think it's called, "I must be a mermaid. I have no fear of depth, but a great fear of shallow living." So a lot of you guys might also resonate with this quote. So anyway, if you have Juno in Aries, so someone you're going to be very attracted to, and the kind of archetype you're going to be attracted to will be somebody full of energy, somebody who takes charge, somebody who is all the traditional archetype of Aries qualities. So somebody who has a lot of passion in them, somebody who likes to take initiative, somebody who likes to be like, oh, hello, today we're going to this restaurant, or today we're going here and here. There could be a little bit of a bossy and childish qualities with Juno and Aries as well, but I think overall, this is the person who most likely is going to be really brave, and this is the kind of person who is not going to be afraid to ask you out. This is the person who is not going to be afraid to approach you even. Some of the people who I've seen had Juno and Aries in their chart, they even dated or was somehow connected to the military, or to men who somehow, if it's a woman, to men who somehow were connected to like martial even arts, like so there is that very traditional Mars quality when it comes to Juno and Aries. Sometimes with Juno and Aries you can also attract even partners who are traditionally like very masculine, even sometimes a little bit aggressive, so you do have to be a little bit careful with that. But there could be this aggressiveness, which is, I think, in a healthy way, very like Martian. So it's a person who sees something, they go-getter, they go for it. And I think that depending again on the rest of your chart, this is the kind of person most likely that is gonna take charge of a relationship rather than wait for you also to take charge of a relationship. Unless you're a man with Juno and Aries, because in some charts of men with Juno and Aries, what I've seen is that they were the ones who, even though Juno and Aries shows your soulmate, what I've seen is that men with Juno and Aries in their own chart would take charge of relationships themselves. So again, there's something here about being very Mars-like, being very like traditional kind of Mars and warrior macho type. Now, if your Juno is in the sign of Taurus, I think you more than anyone is very attracted to somebody who is stable, who is secure, who can provide for you, at least provide for themselves, who can give you that security, who can give you that feeling of, you know, I know where I stand. You're not going to be very much into somebody who is wishy-washy or who is afraid of commitment. You really value and you feel attracted to people who value commitment just like you do. You value a person who works hard, who achieves things, who have accomplished something also maybe with their career, who is financially well off, who knows how to pamper you, who knows how to show you good time, take you to beautiful places. I have a lot of girlfriends who have Juno in Taurus, and they are the type of women, usually of course they have other aspects of their chart that indicate this, they are the type of women who really like a man who is financially well off and who can take care of them. So Juno in Taurus values these things, and I think Taurus as a sign in general is very connected to money, connected to finer things in life, connected to better things in life, to security, to stability. At the same time, people with Juno in Taurus also tend to be very connected to, since Taurus also rules throat and singing, speaking, music as well. Your soulmate could also be connected to music. Your soulmate could be connected to self-expression through voice. Your soulmate themselves could be showing their love to you by being a provider, by being somebody who, you know, gives you even material luxuries, or even if it's not a luxury, some kind of material stability. Even if you don't have your own material stability, most likely your soulmate is going to be the one who is going to help you either achieve that or is going to share that with you. So your soulmate is going to be trying to protect you and to give you a sense of wholeness, sense of security by showing you, okay, so let's get this, let's improve the house, let's renovate the house, let's buy you something. Money is going to be a very important part also of your connection between you and your soulmate. It's not the only thing. I think it all comes down to security, and I think especially women feel more secure when there is financial, stability, because if there is no financial stability, it's kind of not so easy to find, that security. And I'm not saying that is the only thing that's needed in a relationship, but I think especially if somebody was Juno and Taurus, you're going to really appreciate when your soulmate, works hard and also gives you good things in life. Now, if you have your Juno in the sign of Gemini, this is also one of the most fun placements because your soulmate is going to be the one who will really value communication. So for you guys to talk about your feelings, to communicate is going to be very important. He is going to be, or she is going to be, the person who is going to mirror you in many different ways. They're going to really like to interact with you, even if you, let's say, you are living together or dating. They're going to be the person who will still need somehow to text with you, when, let's say, they're going for a walk with a dog, or for going to work. Communication is going to be a huge part. Your soulmate could be somebody very talkative, somebody who is a bit of a chatterbox, somebody who talks a lot, maybe even for a living, something they do, maybe they have to talk. Talking, speaking could be a part of their profession. They could just in general be a bit gossipy even. Not necessarily gossipy like in a negative way, but they definitely is a person who writes a lot, who talks a lot, who maybe is in the communication or media field. And one thing I can say about the partnership for you guys, it's not going to be quiet. You guys are always going to be talking about your feelings, about things in the world. It's going to be very important for you guys to kind of share your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, not even outside of partnerships, your thoughts about issues that happen in the world. This is going to be a partner who really likes to also read perhaps and write, and is going to be a big part of your relationship. I've seen even this in charts of some people who are, like bloggers, people who do YouTube. Communication again is huge. Maybe even your soulmate is going to be somehow connected to these areas of work, and maybe you could even meet them through social media, or somehow social media could play a very important role in how your partnership starts. And I know, in these days probably social media plays an important role in everyone's partnership, but for Juno and Gemini it's that much more important. Now, last but not least, Juno in Cancer. So if you have Juno in Cancer, your soulmate is going to be the one who is going to really value and cherish home, family, somebody who is going to want to nurture you, somebody who is going to want to support you in a different way, in a way than Taurus, because for Taurus it's more like financial security. For Cancer, Juno, it's more about like emotional security and just making you feel like you know, like you're at home. Nurturing your home, taking care of your home, moving in together is going to be very big a part and important part of your relationship. It's like when you meet your soulmate, it's going to be a feeling like, wow, finally I'm home, finally I found my home, finally I found someone who feels like home. They're gonna be the one who are really gonna like cuddles, who gonna, you know, maybe value even pets and animals and just want to create that, you know, big, you know, like comfy, you know, energy space where you feel nurtured. They might be a little bit more secretive, like they might not want to disclose your relationship to everyone and make it super public. They want to hide it a little bit, be in the safe haven. Maybe they're a little bit shy. In a way, Juno in Cancer is kind of the opposite of Juno in Leo. So we started with Juno in Leo and I said how this is the life of a party, usually type of a guy or a girl, everyone, you know, is drawn to them. Juno in Cancer is very different. They want to be very private. They want to keep relationship private. They want to keep their own life private. And they may be very shy, you know, to even approach you. So if you have Juno in Cancer, you might have sometimes an issue where a person you're connecting with maybe feels very shy to come to you or show their feelings to you. So you in a way will need to kind of see the rest of your chart how to navigate through this, because I really think that these people have a very sweet soul and they have a lot to offer, but they sometimes tend to be unfortunately a little bit shy and secretive and hide their feelings. So this is something, one of the things you're probably gonna have to deal with, but at the same time, once you do deal through these issues, you're gonna have amazing home, amazing family together, and there's gonna be a lot of nurturing energy between the two of you. They're gonna be the one who are gonna give you almost like a motherly love and just be very, very attached, also maybe almost a little bit clingy and needy when it comes to you. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below where your Juno is, and if this resonates, share your stories. What kind of man or woman do you usually feel attracted to? I love you all so much, and don't forget that even though Juno will show us a lot about the kind of soulmate you feel attracted to, there is still a lot more other aspects in your chart we need to take a look at to have a more fuller picture. We're gonna make more videos about this. Again, I'm gonna teach about this a lot as well in my astrology school. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Share your stories in the comment. I would love to hear from you. I love you all so much, and we're gonna talk soon.